Okay, guys, good afternoon, and we'll get started with our presentation today. So today's session is an exciting session because honestly, I love to speak about Kingfishers. Spent great amount of time, invested my time like anything in Kingfishers. I think my journey started with a common Kingfisher I saw near a lake, and practically I was so much into it that practically I said, this is something which I need to do. I need to collect all of them. So I think today the session will be short, but I think the idea is that how can I share more knowledge about all the experiences which I have personally gained. So let's get started. Just an introductory slide of iBirder, what our mission, vision, values are. I think the only core thing which lies behind our messages, let's do ethical birding so that we don't harm the environment. And with that, let's kick start. I think let's talk about the first Kingfisher, what we have got here. So before we get started on this Kingfisher, which is a black-capped Kingfisher, I want to tell you that India has total 12 Kingfishers. And I think as a country, we are very lucky that we have 12 Kingfishers. I mean, you can compare with the United States. Practically, they have belted Kingfishers and I think it's a ringed Kingfisher what they have got. But practically what I'm saying is, in such a huge country, there's only two Kingfisher species, while in India, if you look at the diversity and the flora and fauna, it speaks volumes that, we have 12 varieties of Kingfisher. Personally, I want to collect now all the Kingfishers of South Asia. So let's see how it goes. But let's get started with black-capped Kingfisher. The black-capped Kingfisher gets its name from its black cap. So as you can see, the head has kind of a cap, and that's how most of the bird species get their name. This was I was able to get a shot of black-capped Kingfisher in Bhitarkanika National Park. This is in Odisha, and Bhitarkanika National Park at one point of time, what I hear was it has almost 9 species of Kingfishers. Bhitarkanika National Park, the best time would be anything between October to May. And generally, the whole tributary of water, which is salt water, is full of crocodiles. So Bhitarkanika is famous for that as well. And generally, you get to stay in government stay houses. So if anyone needs that information, feel free to reach out. I can share that. But generally, it's controlled by government. They have small boats on which basically you sit on top of it with your camera, and these are steamer boats, so they are operated by generators. So they make a lot of noise. That's one of the drawback. But apart from that, they're able to sail through across all the tributaries, and I think it's very rich when it comes to the whole biodiversity and the amount of species of birds you get to see. Mangrove pitta is quite famous there, white-bellied sea eagle. So a lot of birds in action, what you get to see apart from Kingfishers. But coming back to black-capped, yeah, this is a beautiful male, what I got to shot, and it was just perching and it was not scared at all. So Bhitarkanika is very famous for this, so feel free to land up there. I think you can use bookings from their government website. You can do a booking. We personally conduct tours for Kingfishers, focus tours. So feel free to reach out to us as well. We can help you. Beautiful Kingfisher. That's number one. Moving on, number 2 Kingfisher. This is again from Bhitarkanika National Park. This is brown-winged Kingfisher. This one I got in 2018, and the best part which I loved about this Kingfisher, it's absolutely fearless. It's not scared at all. Sometimes we had to back up because it was so close that practically the Kingfisher was, completely, we were not even able to get in complete frame. Again, Bhitarkanika, this one, we were able to see a courtship of this Kingfisher, and this Kingfisher is mostly quite big in size when it comes to, as compared to our other common Kingfishers or white-throated Kingfishers. Quite big in size, and it also depends on the ecology. So I think the kind of the bird has enough fish to eat, crabs to eat. So yeah, brown winged is also found in Sundarban. So basically, eastern coastal belt we have heard about it, but if you want be a brown winged kingfisher, highly recommend land up in Bhitarkanika. Sure shot, you're gonna get this bird. I think locals call this bird a tiger of that area because it's absolutely fearless and quite big in size. Um, Moving on, we'll move to the third kingfisher, and the third kingfisher is a blitz kingfisher. Blitz, I would say, is the toughest among all the 12 kingfishers which is found in India. Blitz is not easy to get. I think there is a dwindling population as well for this bird. What we are seeing here is that most of the bird images of Blitz are coming from with Pake Tiger Reserve. Pake Tiger Reserve is based out of Arunachal Pradesh, and I think it's a hell lot of a drive. I mean, practically you land up in Guwahati and then you drive through, you take a break in between, and then again you drive, or you drive straight 10 to 11 hours. And at one point of time, even roads are not there, so the phone connection won't work. So go prepared. Tremendous amount of leeches there, big leeches. So make sure that you're carrying lead socks. And there could be a situation where you might not be able to stay in the place where you have booked. Generally, you go via local guides. So all the guides whom we work with, at times elephants, because it's a forest, elephants land up and practically break or destroy the whole area, including the tents. So we generally end up staying in homestays. These are local small hamlets, and not more than a cluster of 3 to 4 houses. So every 4-5 kilometers we'll find clusters of houses. Pake is actually a tiger reserve. Thankfully we were not able to see tigers, and I say thankfully because practically we were in the forest, in the deep forest. This is the most toughest bird to get. This image came after a completely grueling 8 hours of hard work. We practically walked on the river up and down, 5 kilometers up, 5 kilometers down, and it's a very humid weather. So dress for that. Keep some snacks along with you, because you don't know how long you're gonna wait. I mean, we waited like 8 hours to get this bird. Blitz is general images. What you're gonna see for Blitz, you won't find Blitz on a perch, and even if you get it, it's far. I mean, I think I was blessed that practically this Blitz came, and the place where I was camouflaged myself, the bird came and sat on that perch, and practically 30 seconds, and after that it flew away. So this is a beautiful male. Blitz population is dwindling, so not more than 50 pairs, and most of the individuals land up in Pake to get Blitz images. And it's it's unfortunate not everyone gets it as well. So it is tough. It is the toughest bird. So I mean, the beauty is amazing of this bird. So obviously, it's demanding, but I would say that if you get Blitz, practically your half of the battle is won in terms of collecting all the kingfishers of India. So yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything in terms of letting you know about Blitz apart from this what I've shared. But yeah, drop a note or put a comment, and I'll be happy to share whatever information you need in terms of the local bird guides there. Make sure you're taking a bird guide. Make sure that you're taking, because safety and security comes first. You're getting into an area which is a forest. We don't know about it. Our camera gears are costly, so make sure that they are taken care as well. And of course, as I said, make sure you have lead socks, all the protections which you need before you landing up in a locality which we are not aware of. So we'll move on. We'll move on to Oriental Dwarf Kingfisher. As you can see, it's a riot of colors. I think this bird has been made common, I think mostly found across India, but Ratnagiri, specifically Chiplun, is famous. I landed in Chiplun because there's a bird hide there. So this bird practically breeds we all get to get good shots. So this is one of the shots where practically the bird was carrying feed for its chicks, and for a moment it comes and sits on a perch and then it goes into the nest. So this is Konkan, where most of the individuals land up. Right now, I hear at least there are 3 individuals who have hides, and it's very easy. You land up there. I think you spend around 1.5 to 2 days, around 3 to 4 sessions, which is morning and evening, and you should be done with it. It's also sold as three-toed kingfisher, very colorful. Also found in Goa, towards the whole Andaman belt. So as I said, it's found across peninsular India, but Ratnagiri is, or I should say Chiplun, Konkan is highly recommended if you want the bird to see it in more detail. I think you get to, it's a great behavior which you can see, right? From it starts bringing small insects, crabs, fishes, and the size of those insects will start increasing as the time will pass by, because the chicks are growing, so they need more protein, more food. Um, Great experience collecting Oriental dwarf kingfisher. With that, we move on to the next one. I think we have a collared kingfisher here, and this is a bright male. As you can see, one distinct for collared kingfisher is you'll find some stripes just below the eyelid. And I was lucky to find this guy pretty close. It was on a bush. It just flew and it sat on an open perch which had just a plain green background. So I consider myself lucky. Again, from Bhitarkanika National Park, one of the behaviors which I observed with collared kingfisher was they are very territorial. So they were not allowing black-capped kingfishers nearby. I mean, practically they were chasing them away. The name tells you why it's called collar, because there is a collar which you can see around the neck, and that's the reason it gives its name, collared kingfisher. One thing for Bhitarkanika, what I would say is make sure that you're ready to play with your camera settings, because light plays a very important role in terms of you getting the right shot, what you're looking at, right? What in my world of photographers, we call it making an image. So you need to first of all conceptualize exactly what kind of shot you're looking for, and that is going to help you actually get this shot. So I was aiming for this, but at the same time, my sweet spot is f7.1. I generally play at a focal of f7.1 and f8. I find that the images are much more sharper, and as well as if you have a couple of or a multiple 2 birds, right, or 3 birds sitting around, I think you have a better depth of field to get all the birds in focus. So be open to it. That's what I would say. A lot of people prefer manual. It's absolutely fine. People who are comfortable with it. I have a personal philosophy that practically when you're buying a very expensive cameras, and these days all the DSLR or the mirrorless cameras, they have their own mind. I mean, they're practically computers, so they have their own mind. They have the intelligence which is flawless, and we're paying so much money for these lens and these cameras. Why not utilize it, give them an opportunity as well? And my results have come out pretty great. I mostly shoot in an AV mode, so I think I'm pretty happy and satisfied with the results which I get. We'll move on to the next kingfisher. This is crested kingfisher, mostly found towards the northern part of India and mostly into the mountains. So there is a river in Uttarakhand. Sattal is quite famous, right? A lot of birders land up there for bird images because of the hides. I don't think in India we have any more that kind of hides as compared to what we get to see in Sattal. I think they're doing a pretty good job in terms of making birding commercial. I support that, because a lot of people land up in places like Sattal, and these are not easy places to trek because this is mountain. And you have to climb a lot. So for all age groups, being able to actually get a shot of couple of birds, right? They easily come back with at least 30 to 40 species. I think that's a great satisfaction for any birder. So this one is a female. This bird is found around Chafi River. The only bad news is that we are seeing the river itself is getting polluted. I was there just 6 months back. Second, I think there is a dwindling population as well, as updated by the local bird guides there, whom I have been doing birding with. So it's sad, but this kingfisher is found all across. As you can see, there's a crest on top of the head, so that's the reason it gets its name, crested kingfisher. Um, Always special when you're able to get a shot of a kingfisher where the tail is up, and I think that's part of the behavior. If you start observing the kingfisher, they time to time they will raise their tail up, and then I mean that's makes your image special, the bird with the tail up. So try to look for all those small behaviors, and that's how you make a unique shot for yourself. um, yeah, so it's found in Uttarakhand. Across, I have also seen photos coming from other rivers across around Uttarakhand. But anyone who's looking on or on a collection journey, and my video is morely focused towards that, where I'm trying to help individuals who are looking to collect all the kingfishers of India, because a lot of people reach out to me saying, "Where do you collect this? Where did you found that?" And that this video is all dedicated towards that. So yeah, I mean, if you want crested kingfisher, pretty easy. Go to Chafi River. I mean, be ready. The bird keeps on flying here and there, but if you're a good observer and have some patience, this bird will show up, and not as show up in a height, because it's a natural environment. You're walking on the river. Keep yourself quiet. Make sure you're wearing the right shoes, because you will be walking on the river. Be careful of cameras. I had seen folks who have actually dropped their cameras because the stone on the or the bigger stones on which you practically walk, or the boulders, sometimes it could be tricky. So be watchful on that when you're walking there. Sometimes we get excited and we miss out on that. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll move on to the next kingfisher. This is a pied kingfisher. As you can see, the color is black and white practically. So that's the reason it gets its name, pied kingfisher. This one I was able to get in a place called Purpasthali, very famous in the birding fraternity, mostly from West Bengal. I heard a lot about this place, so I thought of landing up. It's actually a tributary of the river Ganga, and it's quite huge. So mostly what I was able to experience was, this is West Bengal, Bardhaman district, known for a lot of birds across, and that's how this bird landed up, perched for a while, and then just flew away. But pied kingfisher are urban kingfishers as well. You will find that in your city. I stay in Bangalore, a nearby lake. I get to see pied kingfishers. It's just that you don't get to see that many, maybe one or two or a pair. So, but pretty distinct, known for their hovering behaviors, where they get on top in the air, mid-air, they start hovering just like a helicopter and keep looking for the fish, and then they dive. So I think that's a very distinct behavior which you can see with pied kingfishers. A lot of people get to see that hovering behavior all across. I mean, I've seen that in Kaziranga, also in Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary in Rajasthan. So very beautiful bird. Yeah, I mean, the next one is a blue-eared kingfisher. So blue-eared gets its name. It's a male because the beak is completely black. If the lower mandible is red, that's how it's female. That's how you distinct between male and female. Male will be generally all black. This one we got in Andaman Nicobar Islands. Blue-eared kingfisher, again found across peninsular India. So right, starting from Maharashtra, the coastal belts, keep moving on towards Goa, then all parts of Karnataka. Again, all coastal regions you'll find blue-eared kingfisher. But yeah, I mean, it's all about being there at the right place when the bird lands up. This one was a tough one. We were actually on a boat, a small boat, a canoe in on Nicobar. It's infested with crocodiles, but I was looking for ruddy kingfisher, but unfortunately ruddy was somehow not happy with me that I was not able to get that there. But yeah, this bird just showed up. We got a shot of it from the boat. So when you're on a boat, be careful about your gears, because it's wobbly always. Boat birding is not that easiest. Even some of our IS image stabilization of our cameras also get tested. So be watchful on that. And it rains, so make sure that your lenses, your camera body, and yourself, um, you are completely protected via raincoat. um, I mean, I drenched myself a lot. Andaman, it rains a lot, so be watchful on that. But yeah, it's a beautiful kingfisher. And I think one difference which I found out is the ecology matters a lot. So the bird plumage will change depending on what location you're seeing that bird. So a stock-billed kingfisher found in Odisha as compared to something which is found in Assam or found in Andaman is completely different when you look at plumage. It will be much more dullish. Um, so we'll move on. We'll move on to the next one. This is a common kingfisher. The name tells it. It's a common kingfisher because it's found across India, across Europe. I think Europe only has this kingfisher because I only get to see this bird from images, people published from UK and other parts of Europe. Um, this one again, we were just near the homestay where we were staying in Chiplun. This bird was fishing. It came. It started raining. So as you can see, the raindrops are on all across the bird, and I think that makes it more special, right? The water drops. So I think, as I said in my uh, previous commentary, that keep looking for special moments which makes the image unique. um, Common kingfishers are found all across. I think its only matter is what kind of a background you're looking for, because most of the time either the bird will be far. If the bird is close, the background won't be great. So I think you have to be watchful on that. And anytime you find a green background, be ready for it, because I think the subject knowledge matters a lot. So if you get to see kingfisher, keep in mind that it's gonna look for fish, but again it'll come back and sit on the same perch. So that gives you an opportunity to click the bird also in flight. These are small speed demons, so you need to be really fast. They test your all kind of photography wisdom, whatever you've got. But it's an amazing experience to get these birds in flight. We'll move on to the next kingfisher. This is ruddy kingfisher. So I would say the second toughest bird in my birding journey. And I'm not happy with this image, but at least I was able to get a shot while I was on my kingfisher journey, collection journey of all the 12 kingfishers. This was again in Andaman. And I don't know about my luck, because every time I tried 3 times. I visited West Bengal, in North Bengal, in Gorumara National Park twice. I was not able to get ruddy kingfisher. Finally, I decided to go in Andaman because there this kingfisher is endemic, so you get to see this bird. It's a resident. But the moment I saw this bird, it started raining like crazy, so I was not able to get a decent shot. But at least for my collection, I made something, and yeah, I would love to get a better shot of this kingfisher. That is something which I want to do. If I want to repeat any of the images what I have been able to make. Ruddy kingfisher, as I said, it's the second toughest bird. So if you're able to get ruddy, I would say you're already on your journey. I mean, I would in fact rate ruddy the most toughest bird as compared to blith kingfisher. At least personally for me. Although in all reality, blith is the toughest, but ruddy was really tough. In fact, I collected all kingfishers, and ruddy came practically second last. Um, yeah, I think Andaman Nicobar Islands are these kingfishers are endemic there, so basically local birds. So with a good bird guide, you'll be able to get a good shot of ruddy kingfisher. I think yeah. So I was talking about stock build. So this is a stock build kingfisher, and I got this in Kaziranga National Park while we were looking for some birds. Stock builds are again, you'll find coastal, you'll find in Goa, you'll find in Odisha, you'll find on the lower belts of Tamil Nadu. So and also in Andaman Nicobar Islands, but the color which is or the plumage of this bird which is found in Andamans are pretty dull as compared to what you get to see in Kaziranga. Kaziranga, of course, it's a bright, thriving national park. So obviously the bird gets to gets its feed, whether it's small crabs or the fishes. I do want to tell you that on the previous bird, ruddy kingfisher, it travels from Andaman to Gorumara during the migration time and practically moves out of the country, lands up in Malaysia, and people are just crazy about it. But feeds mostly on crabs because those forests are deciduous forest and they feed on crabs. They don't get fish there. So that's a distinct difference which I observed. Stockbill, which is found in Odisha, I think I've seen the sizes. They're one of the biggest size of birds within the kingfisher family. But again, the one which saw in Kaziranga was not that big. But Odisha, we have seen some huge size of stock-billed kingfisher. It gets its name because of its bill, the stock bill. That's how they call it, because it's a huge bill as compared to any other kingfisher in the kingfisher family. I think we came to the last part of the last. This is the 12th kingfisher of India. White-throated kingfisher found across India. It's and practically we have seen behaviors of this bird, which is very surprising because we have seen this bird eating a bird, snakes. So it's an urbanized bird right now, found across cities. So you can find it everywhere. One thing which I really love about white-throated kingfisher is its color. The vibrant blue is tremendously so stark visible that if it flies, you can actually make out that this is a white-throated kingfisher. It's so when the sunlight falls on the wing, it's iridescent as well. It becomes much more colorful. This one, while we were looking for blue-throated kingfisher, blue-eared kingfisher, my apologies, we saw that this white-throated came and started. It was perching on a pole, wooden pole, and the water was falling on the bird. You can see the droplets on the head, and I think it's a special image of a very commoner, right, which you get to see near your house, and you feel that you've seen it all. But again, even common birds are going to surprise you. There are special moments we should not miss as a photographer. So this is a white-throated which we are able to go. So with this, we came to the end of our kingfisher journey. As I said, I think let's continue to do ethical birding. Let's continue to support the circular economy of helping each other. So with that, feel free to reach us out if you have any questions. Of course, we have our own website where you can find all our tours. So please feel free to visit avianlust.com. All our tours are listed there, and subscribe to our channel. I look forward to more updates. So with that, thank you so much, and we'll meet you in the next video.